nice and calm weather, but you have to push with the motor. You have to go upwind somewhat. You had some passengers come by, a few little sparrows. But finally, some weather that's a bit calmer, man. Nice. Oh, here comes a sparrow.
We were on our last leg of our journey from the Cape Verde Islands to Dakar, Senegal, on the west coast of Africa. About 350 nautical miles, depending from what island one begins its journey. Here we are about 50 miles from the coast, and these little fellows appear out of the sky. Why and where they are here so far from land is a mystery to me. And one I gladly contemplate the reasoning behind the mystery. There's plenty of time to think about different scenarios. Perhaps someone will illuminate me in the comments below. And this brings me to a sailor's subject, boat hitchhikers. We sailors meet many. There is also a Facebook page and other websites dedicated to people jumping aboard boats to travel or to get from one point to the other. I've had several encounters with these freewheeling voyagers. I've taken aboard a few as guests on one of my free cabins and on passages and trips. To be honest, I'm very picky who comes aboard for any extended period of time. I like my privacy and solitude. And when someone comes aboard, they bring with them more than just a backpack. They may seem ideal or revolting at first sight or as a selfie online. So for me, the only way to really find out is to be with someone for some time, to see how far my tolerance will be stretched, and how much they will offer in terms of social exchange. Of course, how good they'll look on video. Like Gianni here, for example. I love having him aboard. He's an experienced sailor and fantastic company. But I'll be happy to have my boat to myself again. And as well, I'm sure he'll be happy to be back on his boat alone too. Ciao. We were out of the ferocious swell and on our way north, to make up the miles we had lost on our southerly bearing, when...
Well, the adventure continues, man. My gearbox just gave out. One I just had fixed not too long ago. So now we're gonna have to sail up this bay, tack back and forth, and do this without the engine, man. We can find somebody here that can fix my gearbox. Damn it, man. Jesus Christ.
Yep, the rest of the way would be upwind and under sail only. That meant a lot of tacking back and forth into the night.
This is going to be a struggle. We're just tacking small tacks back and forth, going up this bay. Well, we're making our way up this bay, trying to get into the protection of the ultimate bay here. And it hasn't been easy. We've been tacking back and forth, and we were heading towards a container ship we could see, and we were about to tack, and just then Channel 16 called my name, Galopin, Galopin, Galopin. So I answered back to him, and it was a very nice gentleman from, I guess, the maritime police here. Spoke perfect French, like me, and he said, be careful because there are some unmarked buoys there for cargo ships that have no lights, and you could be colliding with one of them. He can see where it was, and he could see where we was. So he kindly told us to, tack fairly soon, and that he'd be watching out for us. And I was like, oh, thank God, man. Merci beaucoup, cher monsieur de la police maritime de Dakar. That means thank you. I hope you got that. But we got one more tack to do, hopefully, and hopefully we'll be able to enter into the bay, which is more protected. It's pretty crazy out here, man. Well, Gianni and I made it. What an adventure, sailing into this big giant port with fishing boats and cargo boats everywhere, and fishing boats unlit up, and all of a sudden, like, this big giant boats right in front of us. We're sailing in, no motor. You can hear the motor running now because we're warming up some water because we desperately need showers. But we did it, man. It was quite an adventure. Adventure's not over because I gotta get my gearbox fixed and get my batteries. But wow, we did it. We sailed in here, middle of the night. Now we're settling in, having a quick grog. Johnny's having some cheap red wine. He's making some sausages. And I guess tomorrow the African adventure will begin. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, when we got here, Johnny's at the helm, I'm getting the anchor prepared, and he's like, there's hardly like any water here, it's really shallow. I'm like, well, we've got normally 2 meters under the keel. All of a sudden we kind of like stop, and the boat's kind of like stopped. I'm like, holy shit, the keel's touching the bottom. So I ran down here, and Johnny's trying to move the boat on. No, stop it, don't do anything. Ran down here, pulled up the keel, and then we started floating, dropped the anchor, and now we're okay. This is the advantage of having a lifting keel, man. Again, good night.
In the morning, we realized we were a bit far from the other boats. It was my fault as I chose to be cautious. It was hard to judge distances in the dark.
Good morning, everyone. Here we are in Dakar, Senegal, West Africa, after a pretty harrowing journey, sailing upwind in the dark with no motor, dropping anchor, touching bottom, and here we are in sunny Dakar. It's pretty windy here. First thing we're gonna do is get to shore with our papers, do all the entrance formalities, and give laundry to be cleaned.
Gianni already had some friends from his past come by.
They remember him from 15 years ago.
J'ai vécu ici 6 ans, quoi.
Yep, he had lived here about 15 years ago.
And boy, ooh-wee, it's windy. We're gonna go to land in a little while, about a couple hours, get some laundry done. My goodness, this is like Cape Verde.
Part of the service is to be brought ashore by the local personnel. At the helm is Sanyo, who's at your service all day and even into the evening if you request him in advance. He'll drop you off at the pier here. It's a challenge at night, so be careful if you had a few too many drinks at the club bar. The club is a relic of past French colonial times, now in the hands of locals and much more relaxed. We checked in with Victoria. Gianni told me this place once was very chic with the French elite, who were served by tuxedo-wearing waiters. None of that now, just kind and relaxed friendly folks, many who remembered Gianni. First on the agenda was to get phone cards.
We are on the boulevard, on the beach. That's the CVD Boat Club, Club de Voile de Dakar, CVD. Now we're gonna look for some phone cards so we can connect with the world, connect with you from Dakar, Senegal.
Gianni managed to borrow one from the store owner here. I waited for Gianni and just watched life go by.
giant nightclub here, it seems like, or something.
We moved on to find a bank so we could exchange money.
Place is wild, man.
It's a whole new experience here. We were in an industrial area, lots of traffic and big stores. And what we needed, a bank.
This is Mustafa. He's the guard here at the bank.
Yes.
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 And we're talking here because I forgot to bring a mask, so I can't go inside. I'm waiting for Johnny.
Oui.
Et puis j'ai rencontré Mustafa qui est cool.
Oui. Monsieur Alex, il est gentil et il est compréhensif. Parce que lorsqu'il est venu pour entrer dans la banque, je lui ai dit qu'il lui faut obligatoirement le masque. Et il a accepté de ne pas rentrer parce qu'il a oublié son masque. Il a laissé son ami qui a le masque entrer. Et il fait la transaction pour lui. Ok, portez-vous bien, monsieur Alex, il est bien. Il faut le suivre tout le temps. C'est un bon monsieur.
Merci.
And then we would meet many other good people.
Donc ce qui a fait pas mal de dégâts dedans. Donc tu vois ça, tu vois tous le rondel, la vie du jour. Regarde.
It was great to have you aboard on this voyage. If you enjoyed your trip, give us a like and subscribe. You'll really help us navigate better. Me and my boat Galopin promise you a good time every Wednesday, so welcome aboard.